Oh man, so much news on Wednesday. UMBS 5.5s were up 17 basis points on the open, mostly trades in prediction of the CPI coming tomorrow. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, in remarks Tuesday, refrained from commenting on the outlook for monetary policy before the December Consumer Price Index figures. Signs of cooling could support a move towards slower rate increases, even as some officials say it's too early to declare victory in the fight over inflation. Market expects inflation to drop from 7.1% to 6.5%, and core is expected to drop from 6 to 5.7%. These numbers are still really high. Powell also acknowledged that the Fed is getting pressure to act on climate, in quotes. This means he's getting pressure from activists to use the Fed's supervisory authority to discourage investment in fossil fuels. Man, can something not be political nowadays? Ugh. Airline stocks recovered from declines in pre-market trading after the failure of a key pilot notification system operated by the FAA disrupted morning air travel. Big news yesterday from Wells Fargo, a behemoth in the mortgage industry, one time having over $1 trillion worth of mortgages and servicing. It will stop all correspondent lending relationships and look to reduce the massive servicing portfolio. This change in focus has been telegraphed, and as Bloomberg puts it delicately, their mortgage business has entangled Wells Fargo in regulatory probes and lawsuits, meaning the CFPB has made them their whipping boy because they always roll over and pay, so they've had to pay tons of money. However, we all have to nod our cap towards Wells Fargo a little bit because them buying tons and tons of mortgages in 2009, 10, 11, and 12 kind of kept a lot of us going. According to CoreLogic, October rents were up 8.8% year over year, down from 10.2% in September and a peak of 13.9% in April. Zillow's index has marked November rents up 8.4% year over year from 9.6% in October and a peak of 17.1% in February. Lastly, Apartment List has December rents up 3.9% year over year, down from 4.5% and a peak of 17.1%. Catch up, Apartment List. Jeez, what's going on? Rents will soon be reducing inflation. According to Curinos, these numbers suck. December 22 funded mortgage volume decreased 67% year over year and 3% month over month. In the retail channel, funded volume was down 71% year over year. The average 30-year conforming retail rates dipped slightly from November, but are 319 basis points higher than the same month last year. Wow, that's a big increase. In other news, demand is dropping in a big way for super expensive homes. Bloomberg had a piece out earlier detailing the $10 million plus market. The number of signed contracts dropped much more than expected in the second half of 2022. The article notes that sales figures are strong given the elevated prices, but contract activity is already dropping off. It has also noticed that super prime is usually one of the last tiers to collapse, but the first to recover, as well as big wallet buyers will see opportunity in a soft market. Our focus this week has been on the notion of consolidation after last week's strong gains and ahead of this week's CPI. All important CPI comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Friendly comments from Fed Collins favors a 25 basis point hike, helped modestly in the afternoon, as did well-received 10-year auction, but the potential movement following the CPI data is in an entirely different league. It's been the most important monthly economic report for almost a full year now. At the end of the day, we're up 31 basis points, ending up at 101.39, which puts us right underneath that flat red line at 101.671, and then we have a major convergence of support underneath. So it provides some safety should the CPI number come in different than what people are expecting. Also got some news in the industry where a judge grants UWM partial win in the ultimatum lawsuit. So this is basically where American Money Line's counter lawsuit to UWM suing them over working with both Quicken and UWM. Apparently at least one part of that and a key part of that the judge kicked out. So a partial win for UWM.